Hello everyone, Dr. Suneel Dhand. Welcome to another video. I'd like to think those of you who follow me here do so because you want open, honest debate. You want to hear things that are not being widely reported in our corrupted mainstream media. And you want to come to your own conclusions. You don't want things shoved in your face. Now, last week I made a video about the tragic collapse of the American football star Damar Hamlin. He received CPR on the pitch and was transferred to hospital. And I'm glad to be able to say that he appears to be recovering. So that is very good news. Now, I've made a few videos over the last couple of months regarding the very concerning rise in heart disease and heart attacks, especially in younger people. And many people have contacted me to talk about how these appear to be occurring at alarming rates in people who are sports players, which is even more concerning because these are very fit and healthy people. Now, I haven't addressed this specifically, but I thought I would dive into all of the recent news reports and see how many I could find just over the last few weeks. And there were numerous reports of young people collapsing, and I want to share some of these with you here. So here we have reported middle of December, former UCF football player Jake Hescock dies suddenly. We're heartbroken. Former UCF football player Jake Hescock has died after suffering cardiac arrest, his family said. He was 25 years old. He was stricken while jogging in Boston at the beginning of December. He received CPR before he was taken to a hospital where he was placed on life support, sadly did not make it. Then when I made the Damar Hamlin video, a lot of people alerted me to a tragic case which had also just occurred. This was another football player, Uche Nwaneri. I hope I said that right. He was 38 years old. He was found unresponsive at his wife's home in the US state of Indiana. And it says he is a former offensive lineman. That's his position in American football. And a preliminary report determined he died of an enlarged heart with acute heart failure. A full report and an official cause of death will be determined in a few weeks. This only happened within the last several days. And at the time of making this video, I can share with you that only within the last 24 hours, as I browse today, we have had these two tragedies reported. Air Force offensive lineman Hunter Brown dies at 21 after medical emergency. This was an Air Force Academy cadet and offensive lineman on the Falcons football team. Died after a medical emergency on his way to class on Monday. He was 21 years old. We don't have a specific cause of death yet. Then we have this tragedy also reported within the last 24 hours. High school senior dies of cardiac arrest after being found unresponsive in bathroom after gym class. Jordan Brister, a senior in Las Vegas, was found unresponsive, and he had suffered a cardiac arrest for unexplained reasons, his family said. And another article here says that he had ambitions to join the military. So those are four absolutely horrendous stories, only within the last few weeks. And as I said in my last video, when we're dealing with a story like this and we want to approach things in a true medical and scientific way, the first step is to take a step back and be as objective as possible. That is the Stoic approach. I'm a huge fan of Stoicism. We have all options on the table when we are investigating any medical situation. And we ask ourselves, what was the individual's unique medical history? Were they on any medications? Have they received any medical therapeutics? What is their family history? What's their toxicology report? And then what exactly happened medically? How much information do we have? All of these things need to be on the table and fully discussed and investigated. Then another question that I often think of, in the age of 24/7 news and social media, are we simply hearing more of these stories because we have access to immediate news? Because it has been known for a long time that young people can tragically die. However, part of me, in fact, a large part of me says that this is happening at a higher rate than normal. I don't remember seeing this volume of stories over the last few years. And indeed, we know, and I've reported in previous videos, that heart disease and heart attacks are on the rise. There has been a definite upswing recently. So the medical establishment really needs to get more serious about this issue. I know pockets of the medical establishment are talking about this, but nowhere near as seriously as they should be. And we should really be all hands on deck here. What could be worse than young people dying suddenly? What are the exact numbers? Now, I've said many times before, unfortunately, we can't rely on data from the United States because American data collection is absolutely rubbish. It is too fragmented. But we could get much better data from Europe. And I've reported over the last few months, there has been a similar uptick in heart problems in Europe. What is going on? All options need to be on the table, and we need to fully investigate this thoroughly. And what I can tell you is this. I've seen reports from the mainstream media, and indeed directed by high figures in medicine, trying to state that the rise in recent heart issues may be due to some ridiculous causes, including climate change, believe it or not. I've talked about that before. And I heard a report recently that it may even be because people are not on enough drugs. They are not on enough pharmaceuticals. Now, how on earth could that apply to a younger person? But we have to be scientific here in how we investigate something like this. We have to have full data transparency, and we have to have exact numbers, especially when it comes to younger people who are suffering these tragic events. Medical establishments all over the world need to be all over this. There is no excuse whatsoever for not being all in on investigating what is going on here and looking at actual numbers, because we're seeing far too many of these absolutely horrendous stories. Thanks everyone for listening. Do let me know your thoughts down below. Hit the subscribe button for more similar videos in the future.